Donald Trump seems to be turning his back on previous US policy when it comes to Ukraine, saying in a Fox News interview on Monday that the country may or may not be Russian someday. Mr. Trump also said he has told Kyiv he wants something in return for ongoing US assistance. Have a listen.
They have tremendously valuable land in terms of rare earth, in terms of oil and gas, in terms of other things. I want to have our money secured because we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars. And, you know, they may make a deal, they may not make a deal, they may be Russian someday, or they may not be Russian someday, but we're going to have all this money in there. And I say, I want it back.
Well, in response to those comments, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Tuesday, quote, a significant part of Ukraine wants to become Russian and has already become Russian. Well, look, Poland not only shares a border with Ukraine, it also shares the wish that Russia will ultimately not win this war. I sat down with Polish President Andrzej Duda right here in Dubai earlier today to speak about the future of the conflict and the roles other countries may play in trying to bring an end to it. Have a listen.
It will
soon be the third anniversary of Russian aggression against Ukraine. The war is still going on, and a lot of people around the world, especially those people of goodwill, are asking themselves the question how to bring this war to an end, and to be more precise, how to make sure that Russia stops attacking Ukraine. And I keep repeating one thing. As a neighbor of Ukraine, as the one who is watching this conflict and has been watching it from the start on the one hand, but on the other hand, as the one who has been actively supporting Ukraine in defending its sovereignty and independence, we have to make sure, those people have to make sure that Russia does not win this war. This is the most important thing. Russia must not win this war. I'm not saying that Russia has to be defeated. I'm saying Russia must not win this war, which means to me that Russia cannot draw benefit from this war. This is the most important thing which has to be obtained today by the international community. We, Poland, have been supporting Ukraine right from the start. Not only have we sent enormous defense military support to Ukraine, we were the first ones who decided to send armaments to Ukraine. We have donated more than 360 main battle tanks to Ukraine, but also other equipment over years. But first and foremost, today we serve as a hub. And right from the start, Poland has been a transportation hub for Ukraine. It is through Poland that transports with armaments have been going for Ukraine. It's through Poland that humanitarian support has been flowing to Ukraine. We have got the only motorway from Western Europe to Ukraine, and we have got a big international airport close to the border with Ukraine. So indeed, the role that Poland is playing is of key importance. What I'm counting on, I'm counting that President Trump, who indeed is speaking out loud and saying that he wants to bring the war in Ukraine to an end, will come up with and will implement such solutions, not only political ones, but also economic ones, which will force Vladimir Putin to sit down at the negotiating table and will bring this war to an end.
What's your view on President Trump's ambition to support Ukraine going forward, but the quid pro quo is that the US gets the rare earth metals that Ukraine has? Is that acceptable?
Please remember that President Donald Trump, first and foremost, is a businessman. And this is the point that I always repeat in all the discussions, because he has got a business-like style of conducting politics. He's got a business-like style of speaking about politics. And not all politicians like that. They're not used to it. It's a slightly different kind of language and slightly different methods of action. And he took immediately a business-like approach to this. He put it clearly. The United States has already provided huge assistance to Ukraine. It is true. Nobody else has helped Ukraine so much as the United States, and it should be stressed and highlighted. But it is also important, please remember, that the first who helped Ukraine was nobody else but precisely Donald Trump. We are speaking about the budget for the Pentagon in 2020. when he was still serving as president in his first tenure. And already then, he was providing military support to Ukraine when nobody really was thinking seriously about the war and about Ukraine having to defend itself. But today he's saying, okay, what will America have from that? Are you able to offer anything to America? Well, this is life. And it is hard to wonder and to be surprised that it is also the approach of the President of the United States.
This is from Mike Waltz, the National Security Advisor to Donald Trump, reinforcing the Trump administration's position. Quote, the Europeans have to own this conflict going forward. Trump will end it, and then in terms of security guarantees, that is squarely going to be with the Europeans. What is your view on Europe's role? And would Poland supply troops in the future for the security and protection of Ukraine?
To jest taki specyficzny paradoks.
Well, this is a specific kind of a paradox, I could say, because on the one hand, the ones who, and let's be clear and honest, those European politicians, let's put it in a subtle way, are not big fans of President Donald Trump. There is a group of such politicians, and we know more or less who can be included as a member of this group. They're saying, yes, so we have to tighten European ties, we have to build European security, we have to focus on Europe's military independence in terms of security. Donald Trump is saying very well, of course, but spend more on defense. Invest more in your own security. And it would be best if you could provide for the security of Ukraine in Ukraine with your own means, European means.
And what will Poland's commitment
These two policies are
be?
not contradictory to each other. These two policies are not contradictory to each other, but speaking about the contribution to building Ukraine's security, let us remember that today it is precisely Poland who is risking for Ukraine, because it was our country which was hit by the missiles during this war. No other state was hit by missiles in Europe. Those missiles hit Polish territory. We had 2 casualties as a result of a missile striking the Polish territory because of this war. So we are the ones who are running the risk. We are exposed to a risk because we have got a hub on our territory through which assistance to Ukraine is delivered. I'm thinking about the air support, and this support is transported from Poland to Ukraine. In Poland, we have got the only motorway from Western Europe through to Ukraine, and today we are the key country in terms of support for Ukraine, and we are providing this assistance all the time. So whenever somebody is asking about assistance to Ukraine, I'm asking, are you asking ourselves about that? We are providing help to Ukraine 24 hours 7.